So, what we're going to be doing this evening is a 7-day prediction pick a card reading. So, in a minute, I'll give you 3 options to choose from, or what you can do is you can just listen to the reading in its entirety and just take whatever resonates as the message for your week. I am doing this as an ASMR video, so feel free to watch it in its entirety, but if you just want to hear messages, that's fine. Alright? Let's do this. Now, I already pulled cards for your pile if you picked the pink tourmaline. What happened is there was a discrepancy with the video, but I'm going to shuffle the cards for ASMR effect. Give me 1 second. Okay, well, I'm not gonna waste time looking for it, but beforehand, the bottom card of the deck that represent your overall energy for the week was the King of Swords. So what that tells me is that you're going to be in a very serious mindset. You're going to be in a very cerebral mindset, cerebral state where you're going to be more logical than in your emotions. You're going to be making a lot of logical decisions based on, circumstances. You're not going to be relying too much on your feelings for making these decisions. And sometimes that's necessary, especially when you find yourselves in a position where you need to figure your way out of stuff. Sometimes we have to go with the logic instead of going with our emotions. It's knowing when to use our minds and when to use our hearts and when to take both into account. And I feel like in this coming week, you're going to be paying attention more to what your head is saying and kind of looking at the facts rather than relying on your emotion. But as I look into your cards, which I'll get into in a minute, there will be a moment where you will need to rely on your intuition. So, without further ado, let's get started for your pile, pink tourmaline. So, the first 2 cards that I got was the Page of Cups. I don't know if you can see it, there's a glare, and the 2 of Swords. Hopefully there's no glare. And what that tells me is that there's probably going to be an offer, whether it be platonic, romantic, an apology, possibly a job offer, that I think that you're not going to see coming. And it's going to, well, obviously surprise you. But it's also going to be something that I think you may turn down, if that makes any sense. Let's say someone that did you wrong sends you an apology. I feel like you're going to accept the apology, but you're not necessarily going to welcome that person back into your life. Let's say you get a romantic offer from somebody. I don't think you're going to accept that offer because I think that person, or from what I'm getting from the other cards, that person may have been someone who did you wrong. And so, even though it may seem tempting, I see you walking away from that offer or walking away from that apology. And if it's a job offer, it may be a job offer that you thought was great, but then you did some extensive research and realized it wasn't such a good idea, or not, or you just have a feeling in your gut that it's just not a good idea. Because your next 2 cards are the Eight of Cups, and the High Priestess. So like I said, I see you walking away from an offer. I see you possibly walking away from someone who's trying to come back into your life because you have this gut feeling that something's not right. And you also have your mind saying, look at the facts here, look at what's been going on, look at how they've treated you, look at how, look at where you're at. Is this the best decision for you? And after weighing out all the pros and cons, I think you're going to decide not to deal with it because I think mentally it may be taxing. Mentally, it may be something that just causes you anguish. Emotionally, it's something that causes you to shut down. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing because your next two cards are the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. And what that tells me is that you're going to be choosing to walk away from this person, this offer, or whatever may be coming your way that you don't see coming because you're going to get something even better, something that you're going to enjoy, something that you're going to love, something you're going to be able to build upon. So, again, let's go with the job offer scenario. You may receive two job offers that you didn't see coming. One of the job offers may be something that, you thought you'd like, but you just have a feeling about the company. You maybe when you visited, maybe when you went for your interview and you saw how the office was run, maybe you didn't feel so right being there. That's happened to me before. Or maybe during the interview process, as they, would ask you questions, you just started to feel like this wasn't the right job for me, but they loved you. And then there's this other job that you interviewed for or you're possibly going to receive that is going to be something that you really, really enjoy doing. It's something that you're passionate about. It's something that lights you up. And it's also going to make you money. So I think that's kind of the scenario on the job front. Now let's say this is in a romantic context. Let's say someone did you wrong and they're offering you an apology. I see you accepting the apology and saying, okay, but I think it's still best if we go our separate ways because maybe the way that person is, how they communicate, just their energy in general is something you don't gel with. And you're going to get a second offer or a second opportunity that's going to be more with someone that you feel comfortable with, that you feel happy with, that you feel content with. I see this being someone that you have a lot of fun with, someone who you're attracted to, and I see it being someone where you can look at things from both a logical and an emotional perspective, and it checks the boxes. Because sometimes with relationships, I feel like a lot of us, especially whenever we really like someone, we don't really look at the logical side of things. We just kind of want the emotional to fit the logical, if that makes any sense, or we want to try to make something fit when we know something's not right. And I feel like these two people that you connect with possibly next week, they're going to be people that you both genuinely care about, but one may not suit you as a person. One may be something that they may be someone that just isn't your vibe. And so I see you being very honest about this. I see you being very logical about this. And ultimately, like I said, it's going to lead you to a very successful outcome where you're going to be with someone you enjoy being with and also you can build with. So that's pretty much what I'm seeing for your week if you pick the pink tourmaline. Again, if you want to continue to listen to the other readings just to, get separate messages and just kind of relax too, that's fine. But that's pretty much what I got for your reading. I hope you enjoy. Take care. Welcome. If you chose the Blue Appetite, this is your reading. so at the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Wands. So the overall energy for the week is it's going to be a week where you feel stable, you feel a lot happier, you feel like everything's kind of falling into place. And you're going to feel like you can build from this point. So, whatever you're going to be dealing with throughout the week, at the end of the week, it's going to result in you feeling a lot more stable in your situation. I can resonate with that because, you know, I've been in situations where things were completely unstable, and just having that peace of mind can do wonders. And so, I think you have a similar reading to pile one, or the pink tourmaline. And it was like I said in that reading, if you feel the need to listen to each and every one of the readings to get an overall message of the week, that's fine, because sometimes they bleed into each other. And in this case, this is bleeding into this reading. So like the pink tourmaline, I see you leaving something behind because you've weighed out your options and you're realizing that what you're doing or where you are no longer serves you. It's probably because it brings you a lot of anxiety. It probably brings you a lot of instability mentally, physically. And because of that, I feel you saying, you know what? This is not the environment for me. This is not the place I want to be. Whether this could be work, this could be at a home, this could be a relationship, whatever the case. But I feel like you leaving something that causes you mental anguish, it gives you a sense of instability. I see you leaving that behind and going towards something a lot more stable. So, your first two cards I have was the Justice card and the Six of Swords. So like I said, I do see things balancing out. I do see karma leveling out, so that way you feel a lot more stable. You feel a lot more secure in yourself. You feel a lot secure in your mind, a lot more secure in your body. Because you're making a decision to leave something that's been causing you instability. And I feel like this is something you don't want to do. It's not like you wanted to leave this place because you really probably love if it's a job you love to do. The co-workers you work with, you may love them. You may love the clients. And because leaving this job, I'm just using job as an example, leaving this job means you may not be able to take your clients with you. Leaving this job means you may not be able to see these people that you are so fond of anymore, or maybe you have a boss that you really like and that you really like working with, but just the environment itself is toxic. I see you having to leave this job and you not wanting to do so, but the offer you get will be a lot more stable and it's going to make you feel better. It's going to be a lot more grounded. With the Five of Swords, I feel like you leaving is going to make people feel as if, feel slighted. Feel like people may not like the fact that you're leaving. You may not even like the fact that you're leaving, but I feel like the people around you may not like the fact you're leaving. So let's say you have a boss that doesn't treat you correctly and they're overbearing. They micromanage like it's nobody's business. And you get a job offer for a place where the boss is a lot more relaxed. And I'm not saying that you got to be completely relaxed, because there's problems with that too. But the boss is a lot more relaxed, a lot more forgiving. They treat you better, the environment's better, the workspace is better. And so you choose to leave that toxic environment to go to this better job. But your previous boss isn't happy about it because they felt like you were the most reliable person at the job, and you leaving them high and dry isn't fair. Or if this is a home situation, you're leaving this place of residence because, for an example, I remember I had to move from one of my place of residency. It was a decent price place. I didn't really have a problem with it, but I had neighbors who were harassing me. I had neighbors who were gang affiliated, and so I had to either leave or probably end up dead because they were. I remember the day I left because I had to. I moved all my stuff out and I got a hotel. I remember the day I left, they had one of the gang members sitting on top of the stairs, kind of waiting for someone to show up. Um, and they were trapping inside of the apartment right above me. So I ended up leaving that day, and I don't regret ever leaving. But I had to break my lease in order to move out. And I feel like that may be similar, maybe a similar situation where you'll have to break a lease because maybe the place you're living isn't, you know, it's not safe, it's not peaceful, it just causes you anguish. You can't get rest when you're at home, you can't relax, you can't unwind when you're at home, so you're forced to kind of move. But the place you find is a lot more stable. It's a lot more it's a lot more peaceful, and you're able to kind of relax and you know ground. Now, that being said, I feel like next week is going to be pretty busy with the Two of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. This transition is going to be a very busy transition. You're gonna be doing a lot next week. You're probably going to be, have your hands full. But once everything settles, you'll get to a place of peace and tranquility. There won't be any, you know, crazy issues happening. You'll find yourself in a place where you can relax, unwind. Let's say that I'm just using home as an example. If it's a job, the whole transitioning, getting used to, the way the job works, the training process, it may be, kind of a bit overwhelming at times, but once you get the hang of it, everything will, be a lot more stable, a lot more solid, and you'll start to realize that you have that strong support system with you. So even if the job may be somewhat overwhelming, or like getting used to the process is just like it has your head swimming, I feel like your manager, your boss, even your coworkers will be forgiving. They'll understand, and they'll help guide you to the process to make the transition a whole lot easier. So it's not like you won't have that support system to balance everything out. Um, you'll have that. But if you do have to leave something behind next week, do not feel bad about it. Sometimes the best way to walk away from stuff is just cold turkey. If people feel some sort of way about it, I mean, what can you do? Especially if you're in an environment where you're being slighted, when you're being, ran to the brim, or you just being, overworked and underpaid, or you can't get rest, you can't relax, you can't have a peace of mind. If you need to leave that environment, if you need to leave that situation, and people feel some sort of way about it, well, that's their problem, unfortunately. Because at the end of the day, if you're not in a good, healthy place, you can't be beneficial to yourself, and you can't be beneficial to anyone else that may need your help. And so the first thing you need to worry about is making sure you're in a good place, mentally, physically, emotionally, and make sure that you can make decisions without having to be, all over the place. Because when you're in an unstable environment, whether it be work or whether it be, home, and you don't have that stability, it's a lot. And we tend to, make impulsive decisions or do impulsive things because we're just not in the right mindset, or we may just get in a place where we go down a very dark, a dark thought process that puts us in an even worse place. And so next week, I see you focusing on balancing out your situation, making sure you're getting the best out of your situation. And even if you choosing to leave something behind puts some people in their feelings a bit, that's not your problem. Don't worry about it. do what you need to do to make sure you're in a good place and in a good mindset. So, that's what I have for the Blue Appetite. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll get to the next one, okay? Alright. For those of you who chose the Ametrine, this is your reading. Let me just cleanse the cards real quick. My incense burned out over the last two readings, so I'm going to use this one. A brand new piece of incense. So yeah, I think I'm going to start doing these as a regular on the channel because I feel like the content that I produce, as I've been told in the comments, is pretty much the same all around the board. Everything's pretty much the same. And it's not that engaging. But I figured, you know what? People learning about their future, that's pretty engaging, right? Hopefully. If not, well, it is what it is. Alright, just pull for your pile. Okay. Wow. Okay. Jeez. Alright, well, at the bottom of the deck we have the Three of Pentacles. Hopefully there wasn't a glare. So, I don't know what it's with these piles this week, but a lot of people are in transition. But for you, if you picked the Ametrine, I think this transition is going to be very rewarding. So at the bottom of your deck, like I said, we have Three of Pentacles, and the first two cards I pulled was the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. Hopefully, yeah, there goes my stomach. So I had to edit that out in multiple readings, but I'll just let that one go at this point. So, Nine of Cups is the wish fulfillment card. Eight of Pentacles is the work card, building card. So, what I see is either you getting a raise in your current job, you getting the job that you've always wanted, or you getting to work with someone that you've always wanted to work with. Because with the Three of Pentacles, it tends to signal teamwork. So if it's a new job, you could be getting into a job where you work with a team, but you're going to really love this team. This is going to be a really good team to work with. If this is you getting a promotion, again, I think that the whatever promotion you get, the people that you're going to be working with is going to be people that you enjoy working with. You're going to build good connections, good friends. Because in some jobs, like if you do well on one floor, they move you to the next floor or something like that. And so you may be moving floors, and you have to leave. The people on the floor that you used to work on, but you end up making new connections, new friends, a whole new community with the people in the next floor. That's an example. Or if you're getting a new job, the new job is going to be a job where you have to work with employees, with your fellow coworkers, but they're going to be people that you love to work with. Your boss is going to be someone you love to work with. It's going to be a job that you've always wanted. Now, let's take this in a more relationship context, because I like to give, you know, different scenarios. If this is in regards to relationships, I feel like if you're single, you're meeting someone that you can build something with. If you're in a relationship, or if you're, you're getting to know someone, I feel like you're going to come to a point where you realize that this is someone you can build something long term with. Because with the Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, I do, Eight of Pentacles always signals hard work, building, creating, and the Nine of Cups signifies success, wish fulfillment, all that good stuff. So this is something you're going to see success, someone you're going to see a successful future with, and you're going to choose to build upon your relationship and probably take it to the next level, or you know whatever that may mean. And the reason why I brought up love is because we have the King of Cups and the Two of Cups. Now, unlike most card readers, because I'm going to call people out, because why not? I'm not going to be gender specific. I'm not going to say there's a new man coming in your life. I'm going to talk to everyone. If you are a male watching this could be a new love. This can be an improvement of your relationship. And it's someone that's going to make you very happy. Someone that you are going to pretty much feel very emotionally attached to. Now, being men, we don't tend to let our female counterparts know how emotionally attached we are, but we do get emotionally attached. And so I see that being the case. I see you being very emotionally connected to this person. If you're a female watching this and like the male counterpart, I see this being someone that's very emotionally intelligent, someone who's very caring, giving, someone that's, attractive, someone that cares about making sure everything is stable, everyone's in a good place. I see someone that's kind, giving. So this is a good partner. And like I said before, this is someone you're going to see a future with. And so you're going to see potential to build a future with this person, whether this be, marriage, or just, becoming exclusive. And so with the other cards I got, I have the Seven of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. If you're a female watching the Queen of Pentacles could represent your energy, someone that's stable, someone that's grounded, someone that is level-headed. But I see this being someone that you deem your physical ideal, because with the Seven of Cups, it's about fantasies, daydreams, all that stuff. This may be someone that you've had your eye on for a bit. Same goes for the males watching this. This may be a woman that you've had your eyes on for a bit. She's very gorgeous. She takes care of herself. She's independent, but she can be in a relationship. A lot of people think that because you're independent, you could be in a relationship with someone. Some people take that independence to an extreme, and it becomes hyper independence, and that becomes unhealthy. So you, I'll say, instead of independent, interdependent. She's very interdependent as well as you are. You're attracting a counterpart that fits you. And because the two people are, one's water, one's earth, with water and earth, life grows, right? Plants. Um, you can even say any sort of creation. You need to do the physical work, but put the emotion in it to create something, some beautiful artwork. And so I see this being a relationship, if this is in regards to love, where you guys can create something. Maybe you can have a family. Now, if this is more of a business situation, I see that you guys can create a very lucrative business with each other. If you don't resonate as, male or female, this can be just the energies present. There can be a more masculine energy who's more, go-getting and, forthright, whereas the feminine energy is more, receptive, and they come up with these amazing ideas, and the masculine energy implements those ideas, and it balances out so well, and you guys work so well. You're just the perfect team. This could also be a new person that you meet at a job that you work well with, and you end up in a relationship with in the future, but you start off as coworkers, right? So if you watch the previous readings about leaving something behind and getting a new job or being in a new place, I see that you're going to meet someone that you gel really well with. And it's kind of one of those things where, because I'm getting all these intuitive thoughts, and so I'm getting all these downloads, so when I speak, it seems like I'm speaking sporadically, but there's a method to the madness. It's kind of like you have to leave a job, right? And you don't want to leave it. Or the people that you've gotten so used to the job, you don't want to leave it. So you end up leaving a job, and you're not too happy about it because you like the job, or maybe you like the people. And then you have this preconceived notions of what this next job is going to be. It's like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know, is this going to be, am I going to hate my coworkers? Am I going to hate my boss? Well, what am I getting myself into? And you're going to be very nerved up about it. And then you get into the job, and you find out that the people that you work with, you love instantly. And there's this one person there that you vibe with so well that it's like, oh, now I understand why I'm here. I understand why everything had to play out this way. For an example, and then I'll let you go because we're pretty much at the end of the reading. I recently met a good friend of mine at a concert, and originally he was going to go with some other friends that were sitting on the balcony row, where he would be more at the top. We purchased the regular tickets, so we would be in the crowd watching the show. Well, turns out he was late to get the tickets, and he ended up having to get general admission. But if he'd never gotten the general admission, we all three of us would have never became friends. And so we met under the weirdest circumstances, and I remember telling him, I'm like, I swear to God we were brothers in a past life. I swear, because it's like the energy is so familiar. And for someone who's dealt with a lot of, like, I've had to leave a lot of friends or whatever, it's refreshing meeting people that, you can actually feel like, you get me. I don't have to really, explain myself. It's just, it bounces off. And so we were hanging out this weekend, and we were sitting in my kitchen, and he was playing guitar, and I was singing. And my other friend was just like, all right, start playing guitar, you start singing. It was just a weird little session that we had, but it was a really cool session. And it made me realize, man, like, sometimes, like, we have these unfortunate situations, and we think everything's gonna, like, fall apart. But, like, what happens is it just puts us on a different platform that we didn't think would, bring us happiness, and then we'd be completely shocked on how it happens. But whatever the case is, I see you meeting a person, I see you meeting people that will bring you happiness, bring you stability, and this is people or person that you can build something long term with. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. I'm going to try to do more of these. And if you aren't a Patreon member yet, please join Patreon. I'm going to do 3 videos a week for them, and I'm going to try to keep 1 or 2 videos for YouTube. But I will have these continuous videos that I have going right now so that way there's always something going on in the channel. I don't want it to be dormant. But thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Take care.